Hi guys, this is a quick look at the 2D Global Illumination setup for Houdini COPs. I won't go too much into the implementation itself, since this is based on this guest tutorial by Yazarai, which will be linked in the description. This is for HLSL, but I ported it over to OpenCL. And yeah, the setup is completely open, so you can take a look if you want. It's right here. It's not that difficult, not that complicated, but I won't go into the setup at all. I'll just quickly go over how to set it up and how to use it. Global Illumination is basically a light model that's typically used in games, and 2D Global Illumination is the 2D version of that, and it gives you fairly realistic, close to real-time lighting. We're in COPs, so it's not that real time, but it's quite okay to work with, I think. Yeah, to work with this you need an SDF layer. This layer contains your colliders, which is this one right here, up here. And you also need an SDF representation of your lights, which is the circle right here. And then you also need a light layer, which is just an RGB layer with your light's color. And you just plug those into the node. Down here we have a blue noise texture. It's just linked via HTTPS. Yeah, the link is down here as well. And this is basically a low frequency noise that's used for sampling to give you a prettier result. You can look at the article in more detail. But this also needs to be plugged in here. And that's all you need, and then you just, yeah, do whatever you want with it. Let's take a quick look at the settings here. Rays per pixel. Each pixel basically shoots out rays radially around it, and this controls how many rays there are. So 64 means there's 64 rays going out of each pixel. Steps per ray is how many steps this ray takes. So if we shoot out a ray here, it takes 32 steps right now. You can basically leave those like this. Don't really need to touch them that much. What you do need to touch is the SDF scale though. This basically controls how big those steps are, and you sometimes just need to dial in the scale to fit your resolution. What I've found is we're working with 1024 by 1024 here, and usually around half the resolution is good. But yeah, you can play around with that, or you need to play around with that. If you read through the article, you can see they blend through frames over time. I've structured this a little bit differently. Here we're blending with iterations, so we're using the write-back kernel. Here we are at 3 iterations, and this is basically the blend between the previous frames. If you turn it down, it gets darker, but it also gets less noisy. And then the bounce decay, there is always some bounce light calculated, which you can kind of see here. Oh, I forgot, you also always need to turn your view transform to untone mapped, and now we can see there's some bounce light in here, and this is basically what this controls. Every time a ray bounces, it gets a little bit darker, and this is the fall off it gets darker by. So each ray is multiplied by 0.95, and this way they get darker. That's basically it. I wanted to keep this as short as possible. Go read the article down below for more info. Yeah, the file is free. You get this setup for free. If you want to look at more of the setups from the trailer, I also put those on Gumroad, which won't be free, but if you want to support me, go take a look at them. And yeah, thanks for watching.